I'm getting pissed about 50% of people talking about the Mando are like, Kylo Ren's going to kill him.
Kylo Ren's going to kill who?
Grogu. That's not how it works. It wasn't him.
What if Kylo Ren kills Din?
It wasn't him. Kylo Ren's currently in Leia's stomach. He ain't killing nobody. All right. The time has come.
Record.
Record. Hit the record button.
You fools!
Been trained in your Jedi arts by the Inquisitors.
By none other than Count Dangus of the Republic.
Count Dranku.
Count Mungo.
Count Fungus. Well, what say you? Are you ready to go, BOBA? Oh, Dave Driley's already up in here. Hola, David Driley.
Okay, kids.
Sorry, that was premature.
Just gonna use the front camera today. Fuck it.
It was premature. Prematura.
What am I doing? There we go.
What are you doing, BOBA?
Okay, we're good.
How could you be so... No!
Yeah.
Titties and face. Sorry.
Okay, kids. Let's go.
Now we're going for real.
There has been an awakening.
What?
Have you felt it?
What?
Hello, what have we here?
You guys
I
are
have
so
to
funny.
see if make sure I'm not dreaming. Is this real?
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dick face.
Everyone on the West Coast is still
Hello
freaking
there.
in bed right now.
Trying to do it.
Trying to sleep. Trying to sleep, baby dick.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you and yours for tuning in. My name is Mopar.
My name is Commander Cody, aka CC2224, aka clone of Jango Fett, aka
Not a true Mandalorian.
by some weird headcanon, I'm actually in the Mandalorian season 2, which is awesome.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of hey, that's how everything goes in Star Wars, isn't it? Right?
From a certain point of view, it does.
I'm famous. How you doing, Mopar?
Good day, Galaxy.
It's basically Christmas break. How we feeling? Going into that holiday season strong.
Raining.
Yeah, I know. I know. We had some good snowfall last week, and now it's all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cold weather, leftover snow, and rain is very shitty. Not my favorite. Not my favorite way to spend the holidays, but you know, we'll get through it. Hopefully, there'll be some lake effect madness up northeast when we actually go home for Christmas. Looking forward to some blizzards.
Sure.
Maybe we'll be attacked by monstrous spiders.
What about the attack on the Wookiees?
What about the droid attack of the Wookiees? Now, how are we feeling for real?
Talk about droid attack. I rewatched Mando again, the last episode.
Very nice. Talk about droid attacks.
Well needed. Well,
Yeah.
you know, one of the big things I'm gonna bring up is how I feel about droids and droid armies now. The Dark Troopers are efficient
real
assassin murder kings of the new realms.
the new realms of the Republic.
It is. It's astounding.
Empire.
They literally have changed my point of view, and I believe that you know.
I'm curious to hear what you have to say and learn what your point of view was first.
Subconsciously, I really think it changes everybody's point of view. You know, whether you want to activate it or not, but
It's already been activated, baby.
Well, the droids have always been a joke. It's, you know, even, you know, everybody loves R2, but it's kind of a fucking joke that he just never dies, never gets shot. He does get shot once when he's helping Luke out. And
Yeah.
I think it's episode 4.
Yeah, he almost gets blown up. They fixed him.
Yeah. And then, well, you know, 2 minutes later in the movie, he comes squeaking out shiny as ever.
Yeah, they had to get him ready. They had to get him ready for the ceremony.
First things first. So it's just, droids have always been kind of the punchline when they're enemies.
Saviors
even if
when they're heroes.
Yeah, well, it's like that's one of the most ridiculous things. If I have to push it all the way to that side, it's like the battle droids in the prequels are jokes. They're goofy. They can't hit anything. They've never killed anybody. So what's the point of them? All the way to we see even BB-8 used in a ridiculous way in Episode 8, where he's driving the fucking ATST.
Yes, that was cringe.
Kind of ridiculous. But that's my point. Is droids have gone from that to these dark troopers, which are Terminators. These are assassin Terminators, mindless, fucking kill. That's all it is. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Well, in the defense of the droids, we have the droidicas, which even Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon together basically were like, we're fucked. Let's get out of this hallway now, please.
Well, hear me out, though. Formidable, but they still don't do anything. I love them.
True.
And again, they are very formidable. Even against a Jedi, they're always like, oh, fuck, 2 of them. We got to get out of here. But we see it used in the field battle on Episode 1, where Jar Jar accidentally kills that one and it falls over in a goofy way. And you're like, Jesus, not even the cool droids do anything cool. Like, come on.
Yeah. And then I was about to raise defense of the super battle droids. But in the prequel movies, even in that hangar in the beginning of Episode 3, they're kind of dumb. They're tripping over their oil that R2 spits out on them.
Yeah.
It's in the Mando in the flashback that we see them actually be true savages. So.
Yeah. No, it's been refreshing to say the least that droids, it changes my point of view of what the capability of a droid can be. It's always been pushed to a limit of outrageousness, but not in like efficiency of killing or battle use. It's always been like, let's save the day because I'm a droid.
Yeah.
I don't fill in a blank or have special powers.
Here's a caveat for you though.
Okay.
I would say, and you know us, we're diving right into spoilers. If you haven't seen the Mando finale, you probably shouldn't be watching this in the first place. I think it showed us 2 things. 1, how deadly the droids can be, and 2, how deadly a Jedi can be when in true form. So you might say that the droids in the prequels have looked like bumbling fools because they're always up against mostly Jedi, and the Jedi just cut through them like butter. They basically don't stand a chance.
No, it's a valid point.
Because the scene's almost back to back where you see Mando having to deal with one, and he almost can't even kill one of them. And then Luke comes barreling down the hallway in that ship, and he just slices through all of them, just like they're, those regular Roger Rogers from the original.
Those Roger Rogers. Yeah. No, it's a valid point, and that's maybe it's the fault of Star Wars in general. We've always followed the craziest, strongest heroes that when they do come across something serious, it's a Dooku or something like actually, I don't know, crazy, Sidious and that sort. Yeah, but
everything is Star Wars' own fault. So.
But to stumble right back to it, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon can't handle 2 droidicas on.
Or they're just tired of their bullshit and they just wanted to get out of there. They're just like, man, I just cut through an entire blast door and I still have to deal with droids. Let's just jettison.
Yeah. I mean, from a certain point of view, the limitations of droids if you're going to use a droid army. It's numbers. You're just trying to overwhelm in numbers.
Yep.
Not in abilities or efficiency. But, we get to this Dark Trooper and you're like, dude, 3 of those could probably take out the Gungans. And that's not even like laughing. Yeah. 3 of them could land. They don't even have to catch a ride there. They are the ride.
True.
They fly there. Take out the Gungans, not a scratch on them, and fly the fuck out. So it's
do they have hyperdrive engines? That's what I want to know.
The Phase 4 will have the hyperdrives.
Yeah.
So.
It was very chilling to hear the doctor say this version 3 doesn't have any humans. That was the last flaw that had to be fixed. That was really crazy to hear them say.
Yeah, so the humans are the flaw.
That is still true from when they were first around in Dark Forces, right? They were like droid human hybrids.
I watched.
Or is that a new thing?
I watched a follow-up video of Star Wars Explained, and
doesn't know anything.
He said something which I will always stand by. Alex, he has some great content and he gets to the point. I love it.
Yes.
he said something that actually I didn't remember. He said that the first 3 versions were all droids, and that historically, that the Phase 3 was the only one that was a wearable suit. And I was under the assumption that it was the opposite, that they did do it correctly, that Phase 3 was the full droid, because the Phase 0, 1, and 2 were used for aging clones.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I think he got it wrong for the first time ever.
Interesting.
In his sayings. But yeah, so obviously, well, now it canonized. The Phase 3 is a full droid, and like you said, the issue was taken out of it, which is the human aspect.
Yeah.
Which is cold-blooded.
Extremely cold-blooded. Makes you think, I'm sure we've mentioned this at some point, but like, did Palpatine just scrap everything the Trade Federation had built when he took over?
God, how crazy.
I feel like he could have made use of those somehow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Unless he thought of it as an enemy. He doesn't want another army laying around just in case someone comes in and takes those droids and uses them. I mean, from a certain point of view, strategic wise, it makes sense. You've already got a sufficient army, and you got a Darth Vader. So, get rid of the droids. We don't need them. I don't know.
Well, that was, that was a little bit of his undoing, right? Just thinking he was too good. He didn't need him. I think that's kind of what happened with Operation Cinder as well. I read a little bit more about that. So he kind of like obliterated a big portion of the Empire, kind of what he viewed as the weak links, and only his most trusted admirals and Moffs and etc. escaped to the unknown regions to kind of just hide out and wait. I still don't know how the First Order ties in, and if that's like a subset of the Imperial Remnant or like a fake out by the Imperial Remnant to be like, here's a distraction with my clone boy Snoke who's going to run things. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I assume, since I'm really good at calling the future.
That's true. We are future predictors here.
I assume that all of what's happening in Mando as far as Imperials is cloning technology. They're trying to create a Snoke. I think that's where it's going to lead to. They're trying to create a Snoke. Once Snoke is created, I think he's going to look at the Imperials as inferior, and he's going to start building his own shit. So it's going to kind of be like a competitive, you guys are a remnant for a reason. You have failed. I'm going to start something brand fucking new, and everything's going to be colored red, and we're going to rave on Thursdays.
Casual Fridays, rave on Thursdays.
So
Taco Tuesdays.
That's where I see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting because, like, if Palpatine is saying, hey, we're all about to die, let's go hide away in the Imperial or in the unknown regions, there are a bunch of officers that don't do that, obviously. We see them trying to keep a stronghold in different areas like Navarro. And then you have people like Moff Gideon, who I assume hasn't gone with everyone into the unknown regions, but he's trying to keep Palpatine's favor because that cloning technology, in some sense, has to be for him. They have to bring him back or they're trying to bring him back.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how Moff Gideon ties into everything.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah, I just like how long has he been around? Did he know the Emperor personally and like told Moff Gideon, or is it literally handed down from someone crazy strong like Thrawn, where like Thrawn at this point was like, Moff Gideon, do this. It's your top priority, or else I'll kill you. And it's like, well, I don't want to ask questions. I need to get this baby Yoda. It's my, absolute. So,
right.
I don't know.
I went to his Wikipedia page just to see if there was any stuff not mentioned in the show that they had listed there. And I don't think so. There's no birth date or original homeworld or anything like that.
Welcome everybody in the chat. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say there are no details on how he got the Darksaber. It just says around this time he came into possession of this thing that he uses to cut people.
Yeah. Welcome everybody in the chat. Just a little podcast, Dryly and Pure Genius Lego Stop Motion Studios.
That's Matt.
What of a name, Matt.
Welcome.
He asks, do you think they are using the Mando to fill in the pieces of the sequel trilogy?
Yeah, baby.
I mean, regardless, it does because there's a 30-year gap. So putting in storylines, yeah, I mean, it does fill in. And we haven't had a supposed hard tie-in until we saw Luke on screen. Now we know it is Baby Yoda's involved. We see a broken down Luke in episode 8. Some shit has hit the fan. Maybe he lost Baby Yoda.
Right.
Doesn't know where he's at.
Along with all those other students, I don't know. Or you
Right.
mean like mislocated him?
Mislocated.
I mean, he is short. He's easy to lose.
Yeah.
Just he's hiding in the laundry. God damn it, Grogu.
Any green plant? Yeah, maybe he visited Endor and he's like, "Fuck, which one of you toads is my apprentice?" Oh man,
Which one of you toads? Yeah, I think Mando was. It's a good move on their part. I mean, their planning is good. It's a good first Disney show. Sorry, a good first Star Wars show.
good.
What?
It's near the top, man. That's they put some hell on screen, man. It was great.
Well, no. First of all, it's the only show right now, so it's the best
Top
and
top
the
one.
worst
It's my
at the
favorite.
same time. If I had to pick a favorite, what I was going to say is like it's somewhat neutral territory. It's right after original trilogy era. It's got Mandalorians, which are fucking awesome. It ties into the animation. It ties into the prequels. It ties into everything. It's a good first step for them. I think future Mando seasons, along with Ahsoka, along with Rangers of the New Republic, and now we know along with Boba Fett, I think this is where we're going to get this gap between the Imperial Remnant and the First Order that I've been wondering about since the very beginning of episode 7, when we saw the sinister First Order in the crawl, and everyone's like, what the fuck is the First Order? Please explain. And JJ's
Yeah.
like, nah, I ain't gonna explain that shit.
Nah, they got some plans. They got some plans for it.
They got some Star Killers.
You know what it does feel like is they've just been using Mando. Well, one obviously to fill in blanks, but as a launching point.
Exactly. That's
I
what
mean,
was
we
going
are
for.
launching Ahsoka directly off this. We are launching Boba Fett directly off this. We have
Rangers.
Mandalorian stuff that we're going to continue with, Bo-Katan and all that.
Yep.
I mean, it's not only hard tied, but it is the launching point for pretty much all the other series outside of like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep. Absolutely. It's definitely the diving board.
Well-
That's not what I meant to say. The launch pad.
The launch
Board.
the landing strip,
Diving pad.
What?
Yep.
the diving pad.
I did call a couple weeks ago that Mando is basically going to become Jon Snow. And now that he has the Darksaber and he doesn't care about taking hold of Mandalore, he's the chosen, he's the ruler by default, but he doesn't, I don't want it. It's Jon Snow all over again, man. They're basically the same character.
Yeah. Let's dig into it. So I know we've already spoiled a lot, so this is just going forward. It's gonna be heavy spoilers on the last episode of the season, Mando 2.
Luke Skywalker.
So we did talk about the Dark Troopers. I did have some notes here.
Yeah.
Their score and
Yes.
everything that was going on when they were like booting up, charging up, fighting, pounding the fucking blast doors like
Yes.
demons.
Pounding Din's face.
Yeah, there was some brutality. They really, and that's what it just changes my whole point of view of it's. I wrote here that it sheds new light on the capabilities of droids. It's always been like fumbling, bumbling luck with droids. Now it's precise calculation, murder.
Yes.
And it's refreshing. Murder is refreshing from a droid standpoint.
Murder can be refreshing from a certain point of view.
Is that the title of the day? Good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just kept on getting Terminator feels, and we got a seedling of that when we saw the super battle droids in Din's flashback. But this was like come to life. Like I couldn't imagine being Din. Like he's already half terrified, scarred from droids from his childhood and being saved or whatever.
I totally forgot about that. Actually,
And now he's literally getting pounded in the head by a droid, and there's 40 more right behind the door. You're like,
Jeez.
his Mando armor. Hopefully it.
That Beskar holds up, dude.
Yeah, it holds a lot of dookie too, because he would hit himself 3 times during that episode.
Right before the door even opened, man, he just
Yeah.
dropped one. Yeah.
He
Now,
dropped one.
you open that by talking about the music that goes
The
along
score.
with the Dark Troopers, and yeah, I got Reaper vibes from Mass Effect 3.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what I was kind of encompassing. So Reapers, Terminators, combine them, get the Dark Troopers. Savagery.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, it was just so after the fight scene with Din and him getting his head bashed in. Well, let's continue with that. Sorry,
Sure.
because when he runs up to that door and he tries to seal it, and that one grabs and then like peers through, I was like, dude, this is better than this. They're doing Terminator better than a Terminator at this point.
Yeah.
It's that, and that's why I always liked the first Terminator, because it was a little less sci-fi and a little more like, dude, this thing is murdering me.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little
the other
horror
one was
movie.
kind of, I get too. It's fun. It's a great movie. But it felt
The
like
best one.
we're on the run rather than this thing's on top of me killing me right now.
A little bit of that.
Yeah, it felt a little more scary, and that's what the Dark Troopers felt for me.
Yeah.
Again, when it peers through, and you're like, "Fuck,"
Terrifying.
So
That's the only reaction you can really have.
yeah, and he's holding his own a little bit. At least his armor is holding his own.
Yeah.
Against,
No, the armor is holding up, man.
and he's doing everything he can, and it keeps just coming. It just keeps coming after him, and then when he shoots his fire. And it's on fire, and it still looks at him like, dude, is that
I'm
your only-"
fireproof.
I'm fireproof. They updated that software, bitch. You ain't got it.
I'm a fire marshal.
I'm a fire marshal, Bill.
Yeah. No, dude, he dented the wall with Din's head. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a cool little nod to the strength of the metals that they're dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no shit, it can handle lightsabers. It can handle that.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering, like, I guess from that battle, I assumed it was like a Beskar, maybe an impure Beskar that they made the Dark Troopers out of.
Somebody was talking about that in the WhatsApp, and I didn't know if they ever actually mentioned that the Dark Trooper armor was made out of Beskar, or if we were just kind of assuming that.
Because at least Bo-Katan mentions that Darksaber it'll cut through anything except for pure Beskar, which I was
Right.
like, okay. Well, we've
Same with the
seen
lightsaber.
we've seen Din's armor, so I just assumed that all that together was lightsabers and the Darksaber. Din's fine, but when the thing's fucking punching him in the head, I don't see the thing's fist denting at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, I assumed something crazy was going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and say I knew Luke was coming, but when he showed up, I was thinking, is Luke's lightsaber even going to do anything against these fucking things?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was my thought. And then he would just like cut him up like butter, and I was like, is it an upgraded lightsaber? What is he doing? I don't know. I guess that was my only question, because he obviously sliced and diced.
I'm looking at an article and I'm trying to see.
This isn't read time.
It is read time if I'm trying to get information to talk about time.
Dryly says he had the same question. Yeah, I wonder, maybe, it's hard to prepare against a lightsaber when you don't have a lightsaber. Like, you don't have the technology in front of you to test. So maybe it was an impure Beskar that, maybe it was a little cheaper.
Yeah, the one sentence that I did find, it just says most of the Dark Trooper bodies are impervious to Beskar steel, suggesting that they are themselves made of Beskar, but it's not hard confirmed. So
okay,
I don't know. Obviously, we know the Empire had a shit ton of it laying around in those ingots, so they could have easily just formed them out of Beskar. So
maybe they were making their own somehow, some prototype Beskar that just was not quite as strong. So I don't know. That was my one question going into it, because obviously Luke shows up and just it's Slaughterhouse 5000. So
yeah. Well, I was gonna say he's mostly cutting them at the joints, but I think there were a couple where he just like literally went.
He
fucking Conan the librarian the fuck out of that one.
He did, yeah. He axed the dude in half, yeah.
These ancient Jedi texts are a little overdue.
Just swing real hard. That's page 1 of the ancient Jedi text.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. So I guess that's most of my Dark Trooper stuff right here.
What do you think when he opened the vault, swept them all out into space?
I mean, I immediately was like, oh, that's not gonna kill him. I was like, if a cyborg like General Grievous can live out there with organs,
Right.
Those things, obviously, they flew into high atmosphere.
Well, I forgot
They
that
were
they
fine.
flew for a second. So he cracked open the thing, and I was like, that's actually a great way to get rid of him instead of him having to fight all of them, because that would be stupid. I forgot they could fly. And then when they are approaching to get back into the ship, I was like, oh, shit, Dark Troopers.
Yeah. No, that's, again, they're just, they did them right. The Empire finally got something right, because Stormtroopers ain't cutting it. Jesus Christ.
And just when they get something right, a Jedi comes back into the fold to ruin their plans.
Yep. Yeah.
God. What else happens in this episode before we get to
I got a lot here.
the man of all man? Okay, what's next on your list?
Well, the first thing we see is Slave One landing, and they gotta get the other Mandos. So they're in the cantina.
Wait, no,
there.
they capture the bro first, I think. Don't they hijack that Imperial shuttle first? Or did I make that entire thing up? I think they capture the scientist, the very first thing in the episode. Because the first thing I think I see is the Lambda shuttle, and I was like, I fucking love the Lambda shuttle. Here we go.
Yeah, I think you're right, because they do get that guy, and then they go, which was cool. Nice
little heist.
The thing that I've gotten out of the Mando as far as Empire is the brutality of it. We finally see, even within its own rankings, we see the pilot kills the other pilot because he starts negotiating.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck. This is the Empire I've always wanted, not the fumbling, bumbling idiots and Darth Vader.
The Muppets and Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's basically it. And then, we've seen what's his face. He committed suicide with that pill that he threw in his mouth. Like, there's some small flavor in all of this that it's brutal, man. Mm-hmm. The false promises of Moff Gideon, which obviously you can't trust him.
Trust him as far as I can slice him.
And then what Moff does at the end, knowing that the Darksaber is going to end up, in Din's hand, which is still preventing Bo-Katan from winning. Mm-hmm. It was very brutal. So pitting Bo-Katan and against Din, which is unfinalized. We don't know what the fuck happens with that.
So that's Jon Snow and Daenerys. Same thing. I'm telling you, man. It's the same show. There's Dark Troopers instead of dragons. What's the difference?
There's really no difference. They both can fly, and I love them.
Crazy armor. They can fly. They're basically impervious to weapons and fire.
Yeah.
Same thing. Anyways, so back to that industrial planet. Slave One lands. Super awesome. I can't remember the name of the ship, but whatever Bo-Katan's ship is, that starfighter is sitting there on the ground. First time we've seen that in live action.
Yeah. The obvious confrontation that happens between the Mandalorians, between Boba, Boca, and then I forget what her name is.
I don't remember.
Smoke show, Mando.
Sasha Banks.
Thank you. Awesome. I love that it's not a happy, everybody loves each other, we're all Mandos, let's hold hands and go into battle. It's like, you're a fucking phony, you suck, you stink.
I love Boba Fett talking trash, though. Easy there, princess. So fucking sweet.
I love that she mentions, I've heard your voice 1,000 times, and he's like, it's gonna be the last one you hear, bitch. I was like, God damn.
Talk to me again. Put that helmet back on. Let's go.
I've talked a lot of shit with this voice, you whore. No, I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah, and also I love how Din just stands back and just like laughing the whole time. He's like, "Yep, these are going to be on my team." Yep,
I got a great party here.
Here we go,
squatted up. Let's go, Gideon. You have no idea what's coming at you.
Yeah, and it's that elitist mentality of the Mandalorians. While it is like a brotherhood and sisterhood, it does bleed through that you're a fucking clone. You're not even a pure Mando. You're not an actual Mando.
Yeah,
and I love that he's like, I never claimed to be. I'm
he kind of did though, that really threw me.
I was wondering that too.
2 episodes ago, he was like, "Look at this chain code. I'm a real Mandalorian." Now he's like, "Bitch, I don't follow you." Unless he was just trying to get Din to win him to his side, basically.
Well, I think that's probably what's going to happen going forward. They're going to solidify what that means inside their own code. what is a full Mandalorian?
Possibly. I
Because
mean, I
there's so
found
many
it.
foundlings. Like,
Yeah.
from a certain point of view, Din's not Mandalorian, but you're dealing with him.
Well, I found it ironic that Bo-Katan basically told Din, like, you don't need to be this religious about the creed. You can take your
Right.
helmet off. It's fine. But Boba Fett, you're a clone. You don't count. You need real blood. Like, come on.
It is ridiculous. So I guess everybody's just been spoiled from the clones that they don't count Boba Fett as like a true human per se. But even though he's a clone, he's a one for one. Like he's not
Right, he's exact
no
replica.
advanced. Like he is Django. So
They probably like disowned Django when
yeah, that's what I'm
he
wondering.
when he became the donor for the clones. They were probably like, Mandalorian blood should be sacred. You shouldn't do that. So
Yeah.
we all hate you now.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. I'm sure they'll clash again. We're going to see a Bo-Katan Boba Fett showdown in either season 3 or Book of Boba Fett for sure.
yeah. I have my thoughts about the Book of Boba Fett. That last
We'll
scene.
get there. We'll
So.
get there.
So let's see. Din, Dark Trooper, Luke Skywalker. How did you feel like the raid that they after crash landing into which was genius. Now they can't release ties in and out. Also, I'm not sure where the fuck Luke landed. That's a great question. Because there's a Lambda shuttle stuck in a
Well, there's more than one
Is there? It's a light cruiser. I
guess
assumed
it's
it
not
was,
that big of a ship. I thought there was like more than one docking bay, I guess.
he just squeezed it in right over the Lambda. I don't know.
Well, I wonder if the ties eject from one like docking bay and then all the other guest ships land somewhere else, maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alex, where you
guest
at?
ships.
Shinobi, where you at?
The guest.
Yeah, they're honored
You are
guests.
royal guests.
Yes, they're honored guests. Have to land somewhere else.
We got your parking lot's over here.
Well, what kind of cruiser is it? I'll look it up. Moff Gideon's cruiser. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Gideon's light cruiser.
The Death Ball.
Class 546 cruiser, light cruiser. Gideon's light cruiser. Yeah, I need like a map. Not a map. Blueprints.
Blueprints.
I'm over it. I
What's
give up already.
The build model. What year did it come in? Blue paint.
I mean, I need schematics in order to see where the docking bays are. All right, I give up. Next.
Yeah. I mean, they wrapped up a lot. It was a fun episode. Rewatching it, it felt like it went by a lot quicker. I felt like my first watch through, I was like,
It felt long, yeah.
yeah,
Long in a
entire
good
time.
way, though.
Yeah, absolutely. My second watch through, I was like, it's over already. What the fuck? Because
I
you
know.
get to the bridge and Moff Gideon. First of all, I don't know why they didn't fucking just kill him. Second of all, I thought Gideon killed Sasha Banks at that one point, where he whips out the pistol and starts firing at her, and she falls to the ground, and he keeps firing at her.
Best car, baby.
Yeah,
Best car.
I seriously, I didn't even realize she was standing after that scene because I thought he just killed one of the Mandalorians and they all just brushed it off. It's like,
Yeah, I expected him. You got to think he's dealt with Mandalorians. He knows there's weak points in the armor. I guess I kind of expected him to like actually hit her a couple times. I didn't think she was dead, but I expected her to at least be injured.
I thought it was ballsy. I seriously, after my first watch through, I thought she was dead. And then when I was rewatching, I was like, oh, this is where she dies. Wait, she's standing here after that. I was like, what the fuck?
But there's two of her.
There's
She's a
two.
clone.
Clone is
No, they did not kill him on purpose because Cara Dune wants to bring him in for questioning because he used to be ISB. So she specifically makes sure that he doesn't die.
yeah.
Because obviously you see him put the gun to his chin. He was trying to just take himself out.
Matt
But-
says he thought he was shooting Bo. I thought.
Oh
it was
yeah,
Sasha
I think
Banks,
I
so-
think he was.
Oh well, then I take it back. I'm just.
Oh, Katan. Well, regardless, I mean, he did kind of blast her away.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Want to know what kind of secrets we're gonna get? Great shots of him in season 3 in prison being questioned by somebody.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like Hannibal fucking Lecter in season 3.
I love the actor. I've loved
He's
him
amazing,
since Breaking Bad.
Yep.
And there was certain, specifically this episode. I mean, I guess we have more screen time with him, with this episode, but like, I really felt like he became the character. Some characters play the actor from, if you know what I'm saying. Like the character's bigger than the actor.
Mhm.
This one, I felt like he was it. I believed he was believable. I thought the character he's playing should look like him and act like him and talk like him and do the things that he's doing. I was like, I was completely in on him. I loved it. So
Agreed. Yeah.
um,
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not that I didn't feel that he fit early on. We didn't get enough steady time with him in the show until the ending here. Because he's obviously, we knew that I can't remember the actor's name. We knew he was part of the Mandalorian cast, but in season 1, he didn't show up until those last 2 episodes.
Right.
And even then, he just stood out there and gave a little speech, and then the stormtroopers did all the action. So we didn't really get a lot of time with him until season 2. But yeah, I completely agree. He was fantastic. A zealot, to be sure.
One of the other small things, so I had listed here with the Dark Troopers, was just the fact that Disney has done a great job in expanding the types of troopers or troops. Like we have Shore Troopers and Death Troopers and Dark Troopers, and they've all been awesome.
True.
It's been great. It's one of those things like we see the Snow Troopers and we see
Scout troopers
in the original trilogy, but outside of that, it's like one per movie. Now it's just like whatever the fuck's happening, there's a special trooper for that.
Right. There's a different kind of armor for jungle versus
Jungle
snow
trooper.
versus sand
Celebration
versus
Oktoberfest
Tatooine.
trooper.
Oh, we had the officers, I guess, on Tatooine in the original,
True.
and we had the TIE fighter pilots.
I guess not.
But no, I get you 100%. I get you.
It's been nice. Death Troopers, Sith Troopers,
Yep.
Imperial Storm Troopers.
I wish we had more with the Sith troopers. I really did like them. I wish we had more with the Sith in general in Rise of Skywalker. There's a lot of background, like they're ominous. They're part of the set. They're part of like the stage in Rise of Skywalker, but we don't get a lot of information about them and why and who made the Wayfinder and all that.
Yeah,
Sith
I think
troopers and the
episode
officers.
9's slipping on my list. There's a lot of it's kind of a bumpy ride.
It's a very bumpy ride.
Yeah, a lot of good things. I mean, 8's a bumpy ride too. I feel like 7's the only like really solid start to finish. It just feels like a Star Wars movie, and they had direction. And then 8 jumbles all around, like it or love it, whatever. And then 9, it didn't solidify anything. It was just jumping around. It was like, whatever. Fun ride.
Yeah, I mean, I have in my notes. I don't know if you want to finish the episode before we get to the
Let's finish
the complaints. Okay, I'll hold that for after we finish this. So yeah, good siege of the ship in general.
Oh
Mandalorian.
yeah, Luke Skywalker shows up.
Well, I was gonna say before we even get there, Din Djarin approaches Baby Yoda and Moff Gideon,
Mhm.
and they have that whole little speech. So we can talk about that. Gideon's really just kind of doubling down on what he wants to do, taking Baby Yoda's blood, and he says we still don't get a hard answer, but he says it can be used to finally restore peace and order to the galaxy. But again, we don't know if he's trying to, I don't know, create force-sensitive troopers, clone Snoke, clone Palpatine. We don't know exactly what that blood is going to be used for.
I'm assuming it's some type of domino effect where Snoke's step 1. Once we get a Snoke that's living, then we're going to work on bringing back Palpatine, because Snoke can kind of run things from here.
Yeah.
I'm
sure
I
we'll find
also, obviously, just after that, they start swinging away at each other. It's that false hope that Moff Gideon's like, okay, just take the child. I'm done with them. Fuck you. And then they go at it, which it's a fun non-lightsaber fight. It's a melee fight. One of the coolest aspects is when the Darksaber's riding on that pike or whatever.
Yeah.
It starts heating up, and you're like, fuck, this is cool. But it never bent and never broke. It just heated up. It was cool.
Yeah, it can take it. Pure Beskar. It's very nice. And then when he bests him, and Gideon's like, interesting, you're not going to kill me, huh? Because I actually didn't register when that happened. The whole thing about the Darksaber and having to win it in combat. I forgot about that until the end of the episode.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's sitting there thinking, and he's like, because he lost the fight, but it's still kind of playing in his plans that he gets to fuck with Bo-Katan's mind. So
Yeah.
he's like, he lost, but he's still a little bit content with that.
Like his plan not only worked, but now he gets to watch it work. Like he gets to talk shit to Bo in he's like,
Yeah.
I lost, but you did too. Haha.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I'm gonna flash back to I guess it was the episode before this with Mayfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Mayfield Heights, Ohio.
Never mind.
What were you going to say? Mayfeld is awesome now?
No, well, he is. I that really solidified that character for me.
Absolutely.
The episode that Bill Burr was in originally was, again, kind of a clunky episode, kind of a side thing. It was kind of a fumbly side thing. I didn't love or hate Bill Burr. It just didn't do anything for me. But that really, like a scarred ex-Imperial, it was so perfect. And he got his revenge. And I'm going to keep saying it, solidify. He solidified his stance with the Resistance and or with the New Republic, as opposed, because they had question marks around him.
Yeah.
You know, he's a felon or whatever. And the Smoke Show didn't trust him.
Agreedo.
So,
But you don't remember what you were trying to think about from Mayfeld?
it was something from Star Wars Explained. He said something along the lines of, Boba Fett can't be seen down there, and that's why Mayfeld had to go with Din in that transport.
Yeah, because Boba Fett's a clone.
Yeah, I thought it was because Boba Fett's wanted because he's a bounty hunter and some shit. I don't know why that went way over my head. That
Oh yeah,
a million people have seen his face because everybody has seen his face. So
yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, yeah, when Star Wars Explained said that, I was like, God, I'm an idiot. Like I thought it was because he was notorious.
My face. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's possible. We still don't know what happens with the clones. It's possible that some of the troopers in that base were clones. So they would have been like, what? Wait a second. That's me.
Wait, Family Reunion, 93? You were there.
Camino, 99? Yeah.
Camino, 99. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just, I felt really dumb when he said that out loud. I was like, fuck, I thought it was because he was a notorious bounty hunter, not because there's 12 million of them running around. I'm a moron.
Maybe it's a little bit of both.
I assume I'm right. So,
Well, actually, but off of that, though, even if he was a wanted bounty hunter, I feel like the story probably spread that he died at the Sarlacc pit.
yeah. Well,
Everyone thinks he's dead. Now he's
people
a ghost.
at the scene thought he was dead. So
Exactly,
there's no reason to think otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Back to Gideon. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you? So there's a lot of launching points here. Obviously, we have the Book of Boba. We'll get to that here. We have the Mandalorian issue of the Darksaber and Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they completely didn't do anything. They just made sure that everybody knew of the issue and then just ended, with Luke. And I was like, this thing's called the Mandalorian. I have no issues with anything. It was just kind of a weird thing to like throw in our faces that this is an issue and then end it 2 minutes later and not talk about it, not resolve it, not even like put a seedling of we're gonna have to figure this out. Let's go.
Well, I think the Darksaber and the whole issue, I think that was the seedling. I think that was the point.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have to string stuff together and they have to leave us on something, which is fine. It felt weird that it was like a seed planted from this episode. It wasn't like a long.
Yeah, they didn't resolve it. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't need everything resolved. We have another whole season. They have to base it on something, and we no longer have baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Grogu. So, we have to go somewhere. So obviously, Din and Bo are gonna have to figure some shit out, or she's gonna have to take orders from this savage.
That's a lot what I think of season 3 and season 4. If the show continues past season 3, that's what it's gonna be. Grogu's there. I think maybe we'll probably get a check-in with him at some point, which would be nice. I don't think Luke is going to be as religious about attachments and stuff. So it'd be cool if like he could visit Grogu once or twice. Yeah. But I think the bulk of it is going to be restoring Mandalore and bringing together all the clans. So
Absolutely.
I felt that there was enough of a seed there when they talked, when Gideon did his whole explanation, and then Bo-Katan decided not to take the saber like she did before. I think that's plenty to go off of. They left it just vague enough that everybody wants to go back and figure out from Rebels and Clone Wars who Bo-Katan is and why that's a big deal. Just enough. Just a hint of seed.
Yeah, it felt very episode 5 endish,
Which is cool.
which it is cool. It's just not like a solidified, hey, we're gonna go here. Hey, this is the issue. Hey, it was more of like the Darksaber's his now. The end. That's how it felt to me. It was just like, oh, well, okay. Like I guess my point is Star Wars has done such a great job of feeding us just enough stuff so we can continue the conversation for months and months until the next thing. At this point, I mean, we're shutting the show down because there's ain't shit to talk about.
The show's going on hiatus until December of 2021.
I mean, honestly, we'll speculate here and we'll just jump into it. I just, with Luke taking baby, now it's Grandpa Luke. He didn't know he was going to be wiping little frog butts, clean up the baby.
He hasn't seen Yoda in a while. Maybe he's looking forward to that.
The beans they just shot out of him.
Geriatric diapers. Yoda's finishing his life off having fucking depends on Dagobah.
Yeah, so how do you think that's going to go? Because, I mean, are they literally dropping Baby Yoda off and we're not going to get Luke and Grogu at all?
I didn't think they were going to go that far, honestly. So we talked about our speculation, like, after chapter 14, we were like, who's the Jedi that's going to come and save them?
Yeah.
And I said Luke would be cool, but I think it's going to be Ezra based on all the hints. I did not think they would go as ballsy to put Luke Skywalker in this fucking show. So it's weird because I've been seeing a lot of people say, obviously the next big event that we know with Luke Skywalker is that Kylo destroys the temple and escapes.
Yeah.
We know in the comics that it wasn't actually Kylo, it was Snoke, but still we have this whole ending point in 15 or 20 years where the temple blows up and only a few students survive. So everyone's like, what the hell is going to happen to Grogu? I think it leaves it open for, I don't know if they can't do a whole show with Mark Hamill and a CGI'd young face deep fake thing. So I don't know if he's going to like kind of weave his way in and out of a couple series or if it'll be a comic book or something, but they opened the door for that story of Luke's academy. I just don't know what format they're going to do it in. I think they have to touch it though.
Yeah. It's again, it's kind of just a weird, they planted the seed, but there's like no direction yet. You don't know. So like all of our fan theories, that's where I'm getting to it. Like,
sure,
they ended season 2 and I have no fan theories because I have no idea where they're going with any of this. Usually they give you something and it's a misdirection or something and we fan theory out for the next 8 months. But at this point it's like,
well, they did give us some direction.
Well, I guess the direction they gave us is Boba Fett. We'll see what happens with him. We do obviously have Ahsoka spinning off with her probably chasing Thrawn around the galaxy, which is fun. But there's not a huge question mark in my head. I just we'll wait and see is more of where I'm at.
So you might say they left you theories, but they're just not as interesting as usual.
Perhaps.
Is that what you
mean? Yeah, it's more of like they left me storylines rather than theories, Okay. So we have Boba Fett, we have Ahsoka, potentially a Luke thing, but we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real like, who is this? What is this? Where are we going? I'm assuming the Siege of Mandalore is going to be the pinnacle of season 3 and 4 for Mando. Boba Fett's going to be a kind of a nice one-off thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have my reservations about the Boba Fett thing.
Oh yeah, let's just jump into that.
Yeah, let's do it.
First end credits scene in Star Wars, post credit scene, I should say.
Yeah, and I saw people say, make sure you wait till the end of the credits. I was like, fucking perfect, because that's where these theories come. I'm like,
exactly,
dude, that's where Mando comes in, or I'm sorry, Marvel comes in, and they'll drop that, and you're like,
right,
fuck.
I'm surprised you. I'm surprised you don't have anything raving based off of the post credit scene.
Yeah, I was more like,
you're just underwhelmed.
Yeah, it just felt like he never said that he wanted revenge. There was no necessity of revenge. Why did he go all the way back to Tatooine? Like, he had spent 5 years on Tatooine, regardless of if he had his suit or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I assume he could have easily walked in there and killed those people and got rid of Bib.
Yeah.
Why did it take 5 years? You know, what I don't know. I guess the questions are like, why? You know.
Well, my fan theory is, it did leave me with a couple theories. My fan theory is that perhaps Boba is not, he's a savage and he'll kill people when he has to. And obviously we saw that. He took some joy in that, but I don't know if he's a bad guy anymore. So I wonder if the post-credit scene is meant for us to think, oh, Boba took over everything in Jabba's palace and now he's going to lead this bounty hunter guild. But perhaps he went in and cleared out the rest of the infection that Jabba the Hutt left over, and he's going to just extinguish that section of bounty hunters or that guild or the Hutt Mafia or whatever the fuck. He could be, cleaning out the galaxy, basically.
And that's, I think that makes the most sense to me. I don't think it fits his character anymore if he's going to be the bad guy again, or like a mob boss, or actually take over. I assume he was sitting down in like we've cleansed this is a new era kind of deal.
Yeah.
I hope,
that's my hope as well.
Yeah. What did you think of seeing Bib?
That was hilarious. Yeah. I loved it. It
was like a nice touch. I honestly was like, he's still alive. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not mad at it. I was like, obviously that's Bib Fortuna, but
was he, I actually didn't even bother to think, was he on the sail barge?
Yeah.
In 6? Yeah. I didn't even register that.
So somehow he lived. I don't know.
I guess that makes it a little more silly in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I kind of thought there was just some stragglers that stayed back at the palace to party while they were all feeding people to the Sarlacc.
I guess I'm gonna have to double check, but yeah, I was always under the assumption he was on the sail barge with Jabba. Yeah. I guess it's funny because we get to see badass Boba for the first time, which is nice.
A couple times, yeah.
It's a couple times, yeah. And I actually, there was a scene where I didn't even realize what happened during on Tython, where Boba uses like rockets out of his knees.
Yeah, it's like shin guard rockets.
I never I remember him like kneeling down and people dying, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then it was, again, Star Wars Explained. If you actually want to learn something about Star Wars, turn this shit off.
Yeah, don't watch us.
But he has like 151 Easter eggs throughout the season 2. So it's a quick, nice, not quick.
I just watched that too. Not quick, especially the part about all the prisoners and the
oh my god,
that was like list. 10 minutes of it.
I was like, Jesus, stop.
It's okay, it was fun.
But yeah, so his shin fucking rockets. I was like, dude.
Yeah. So special modifications, baby.
So we get to see him in action. We get to see, him get his armor back, rightfully so. It's kind of cool. We get to see where he stands in the eyes of the actual Mandalorians.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a nice, well-rounded, we have an idea of who a Boba Fett is. So I guess in my head, like when he walked in and murdered all those bad guys, I didn't know if it made sense if it was like pure revenge. Or maybe, he's just a dude. He's a clone, but he's a guy.
Yeah.
So maybe he walked in a little bit revengeful, and we need to wipe these fuckers away from the galaxy because I've seen what it leads to.
But think about what would he need to get revenge on? Like, he was serving Jabba the Hutt. Luke Skywalker fucked up the plans. It's not like Jabba betrayed him or something.
I guess the whole realm of what we've seen is Din Djarin was a bounty hunter. Yes. Mandalorians were bounty hunters. Boba Fett was a bounty hunter. They are no longer. So from Din making differences everywhere he goes, all those side plots, he left the place better off. The Mandalorians trying to create their culture again and take back their planet. And Mando, maybe it was turning the other cheek, and he was kind of changing as a person. He said, killing people for money, it may pay the bills, but it doesn't get anywhere. The bad guys are still ruling and all this. So, maybe I'll wipe these pathetic fools out. At least maybe I've got this perfect starting point of cleansing the galaxy. I know exactly where to go. Let's go to fucking Tatooine.
Yes.
And slaughter.
However, I mean, I think the Hutts probably had a big thing to play in the economy of Tatooine, so that place is probably going to be a shithole now.
Oh, they're fucked. They're all the slaves are going hungry because of Boba Fett.
I have another fan theory about Boba.
Okay.
He did talk a lot about family and legacy in that chapter when he came and rescued.
Yeah.
And obviously we see now that Disney has a strong penchant for reviving legend storylines. So I think they're going to pull from that book Bloodlines from Legacy of the Force, where Boba spends time. He has a daughter in that series, and he's trying to reconnect with her and also find a cloner. A cloner, I said. A cloner. Damn good ones, too, to stop his aging and kind of reverse his aging. So I think he's probably going to try to either track down that clone scientist, maybe get a clone for himself so that he has a child. He's probably a little too, unless him and Fennec Shand are going to get freaky in that palace. I don't know.
Unless Fennec is his daughter.
Ooh.
From a certain point of view.
She's going to be in the Bad Batch show, so maybe we'll see.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, she was a very solid character. I liked how straightforward, like, you don't the Mayfelds and the Fennecs, like, they're nice. And it doesn't have to be a full background story. You know, she was regarded as a crazy sharpshooter. That's all I need to know. She was in a shitty episode, but they brought her back and, you know, put her to use, good use. So
cybernetic stomach, and she's good to go.
Oh, I forgot about that. Full on robot chubby.
You hate her now, don't you? That you remember the robot stomach.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to ruin it for you.
No, that's good. I mean, I was never full on. I hate to say it, I shut down the fucking Boba Fett Bloodlines book. I read through half of it and I was like, you know, it's my own fault. I'm just not that interested in Boba Fett's family.
Well, it was part
I'm sure
of
it gets better.
It was part of a series of 9 books.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a lot to get through. However, that was split between 3 different authors, and the ones that focused on Boba Fett was written by Karen Travis, who did Republic Commando. So I was obviously a big fan of those. But no, Boba, he popped open his chain code and was talking about his dad and Jester Mariel and all that stuff. So I really think he has a focus on what his legacy is going to be. So I guess if I had to put a guess, it's going to be he's going to try to make a name for himself as a Fett, cleaning up these gangsters, and he's probably going to try to clone himself to have a kid, or he's going to try to have a kid the old school way.
Yeah,
I mean,
sex. it's your thoughts are of fair value.
How much are they worth?
4
billion?
About 163 credits. No, I guess because they have them at their disposal, I'm afraid this is where they're going to go.
Okay.
He's not going to have a daughter. He's going to make a clone of himself, and Daniel Logan is going to have free reign, and they're going to do a show together.
That would be really fucking cool.
I
fully support that.
Not that I hate it or love it. It's, again, I'm not that interested in Boba Fett's family. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I like Boba Fett. I actually really like that for face value, he was a bounty hunter, and we get a little bit more of it, but whatever.
But him wanting to establish a legacy and the Mandalorians reconnecting the clans and them trying to make a better name for their race than just a bunch of savage bounty hunters, that all ties in together. So that could easily be the case. Maybe you don't care about his family now, but maybe you will once you watch the Book of Boba Fett. Exactly. What do you think about the title, The Book of Boba Fett?
It's terrible.
I don't know why.
Well, based on what we've already subscribed in the tablets of time, because we know how to tell the future. The Book of Boba Fett is writing his new
legacy. They should have called it the Ancient Jedi Text of Boba Fett.
This should be called
Sacred Jedi Text of Boba Fett.
Yeah. No, I guess I wasn't let down with the end credit scene, but it just didn't do much for me. It's like, okay, I get it. You're spinning this off. We're gonna get a Ahsoka thing. We're gonna get more Mando. It at one point I did feel like it was like they were selling tickets to shit. Like, watch the Mando, and you like Ahsoka? Well, guess what you got fucking next? Oh, you liked Bo-Katan? Well, got her more. Boba Fett's back. We got him too.
Luckily, it's just one ticket.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah.
It's $7.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I thought it was. I think I was a little distracted because
Luke.
There was rumors about Boba, but they didn't announce a Boba Fett show in that big announcement the night before.
Yeah.
So my guard was down a little bit because maybe that's just rumors, or maybe he's in season 3, blah blah blah. So my guard was down, and then the post-credit scene pans over to Jabba's palace, and I'm just like, what's gonna happen? I don't even know. And then I remembered, Boba Fett left in Slave 1, never came back to the fight. So what the fuck was he doing?
I like how he literally does nothing. Fennec comes in, shoots everybody, and then he like sits down. He doesn't actually shoot anybody.
He shoots Bib.
Yeah, that's right.
Fat bitch. Why did Fennec? That is interesting. Why didn't he? I guess he couldn't fit Slave 1 inside that freaking docking bay. I just wonder why Fennec went and helped them with the mission, and he didn't. He just left. Mission Gadden. He just ditched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, where has Slave 1 been this whole time if he's been locked up on Tatooine by himself in the sand dunes?
That's another thing I want to know. Like, why did he wait so long to get his armor back if he had the ship?
It's all ramblings from drunken fucks like us. It's just, it doesn't matter. He had it stored away. Maybe it was in, shambles, and he hadn't had the credits to fix it up, and he'd been focused on his armor or something.
He's waiting on those pit droids to fix the ship.
Yep.
Maybe Jawas stole all of his ship parts too, and he had to have an old Ugnaught help him put it back together and learn the value of a hard day's work through a montage.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's the Tatooine version of Kuil? Maybe we'll get that in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited. I've said far and wide. Obviously, I'm a fan of the clones, and Tamara Morrison is one of my favorite actors from Star Wars. So to see him back in the franchise, and especially playing Boba Fett for the first time, not just his voice, is very exciting. So
yeah, it's a good point. So we kind of skipped over one of the biggest things of all time.
Yes,
Luke Skywalker.
Slaughterfest 9000.
Yeah, so obviously we see the X-Wing fly in, and you're like, fuck, I can't believe they're doing it. We're going to see him.
I was still in such denial that I was like, oh, Ahsoka must just have an X-Wing laying around.
Really?
Or Ezra must have got an X-Wing somehow. Or Cal Kestis has an X-Wing. I was in denial. I didn't really think they would go that far. And then, of course, you see him in the hood. And I'm like, no way. And then you see the green lightsaber, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's nice that they watch him through the security cameras. Like, watch him. It felt very Anakin.
Yeah.
In the temple.
It did.
And then also, obviously, he comes up into the elevator, and it feels very Vader.
Yep. Vader hallway scene.
And I was like,
yep.
What kind of fucking... It's like poetry. It rhymes.
It is exactly like poetry. I love that they did that, too. Him and his dad.
I was very happy with the balance of power they gave him. It wasn't outrageous, but it was like... Because that's why, we've been shitters on Luke every day. But it's because they went too far with him in the books and in the legends. He just became a god. He couldn't do any wrong.
Right.
I thought the way they portrayed him in this was great.
Yeah.
He was strong, precise, knew what he was doing, but it wasn't outrageous like crazy shit.
And it was effortless. He seemed calm, and that's definitely what I feel in Luke's energy.
Yeah. If the other thing, I guess, while we're on Luke, is the other thing that did Luke very well was the shitty Battlefront 2 campaign. I actually did like the scenes with Luke. Just I guess more of his mindset. Like you said, he was such a whiny bitch and everything else, and I want it now. Blah blah blah. He's never said that. but
you're thinking of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
By mistake.
He just very clairvoyant. Like he just knows what needs to be done.
Yeah.
But he has like a humility to him. Like when he's talking to Din, he's like, he's not scared. He's waiting for your approval. He just knew what was happening. He was very omnipotent.
Yeah. No, it was great. And obviously we have the loophole where he's slicing up droids. He's not killing people. So it's still very Jedi, still very light side. He doesn't have to actually kill anybody to make it happen. Yeah. I think a Luke Skywalker slicing up humans would be kind of weird.
I'm down for it, though.
I'm down for it, too, but I'm just trying to keep it in the light side has a role that has to fill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want everybody. That's why Anakin fell to the dark side. We'll just say that. That was nice.
My first, as he was slaughtering, I thought to myself, like, these aren't regular droids. So my immediate thought was, wow, he's fucking strong, but also, is he using Shatterpoint? Because I felt like every swing he was doing was so precise, and he knew it was gonna destroy the droid. He didn't fumble with a single one of those devil things.
And he's never seen Dark Troopers before.
That's what I was like. He's
never fought droids really before, has he?
Oh, I know.
Except for that training probe. He had PTSD. He saw a droid and he was like, fuck.
Just swinging away. Could you imagine him up there like Barry Bonds swinging the fuck away? Like,
just like
I learned this on Tatooine. Oh my God. Yeah, I felt like it was a nice smooth balance of power. He knew what he was doing. It was almost like the droids were in his way. He wasn't even struggling with them, which
exactly.
We've already seen Din Djarin, who was our hero, struggle with him with one.
Yeah.
And this dude shows up and it's a whole nother level that
well, you could look at it two ways. You could be like, we just saw Din barely be able to beat one of them. Mm-hmm. So why are the Dark Troopers all of a sudden so like incompetent? But the other side of that is, well, Luke is just so damn good that they're basically not a threat at all.
And this is probably Grandmaster Luke. This is like,
well, yeah, we're like what, 5 years outside of 6. So he had some training then. He was already, he had enough to save his daddy. And then he just had 5 years of focused savagery.
Yeah. Yeah. Zoom calls with Yoda.
Yeah. I wonder how COVID's affecting the Jedi ghosts.
Yeah. No, I was very happy with it. How did you feel about the CGI? Any fumblings?
Yeah. Talk of the town. I thought it looked great until his mouth moved. Every time, it's always the mouth. It's like what you said about Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One. It looks perfect except for the mouth.
Yeah.
That's the last little piece they haven't nailed. And hopefully in 2 years, once they are more expert at it, they will update it, I guess. I don't know. I was so amazed that they decided to put him in there that I just completely forgave all of it.
Yeah, I have no issues with it. I guess not an issue, but my question is, why don't they just get another actor?
That is a good question. When he first took his hood down, before I mentally realized that it was CGI, I was like, oh, did they actually cast Sebastian Stan for that? Yeah. I was like, that's awesome. And then I heard him talk and I could tell that it was CGI, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love that Mark Hamill was back for it. I wonder, not recasting it now kind of prevents them from recasting it to have a Luke series or a movie in the future. I don't really know.
I wouldn't put it past them if they CGI it now and then literally do a Luke series and put someone else in there. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't put it past them, but
maybe they test it out now, just like Mandalorian tests everything out. Mandalorian is just a focus group show, let's be honest, for Disney Star Wars. But yeah, if they realize that everyone is a fan of having Luke Skywalker back, then now they can cast somebody.
Yeah. No, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. It's I can't believe it's over already. I am happy that we are potentially getting a Cassian, we're getting a Boba Fett, and we're getting Mando next year.
I want to say Cassian is not until 22, unfortunately.
God damn it. Do I keep doing that?
You do keep doing that. We're getting Bad Batch next year.
Bad Batch, Mando, and Boba. So at least we get 3 things.
Well, now that we've covered the whole episode, we can talk about, I wouldn't even call it drama. It's more just confusion. So post-credit scene happens. Screen comes up, says the Book of Boba Fett coming December 2021.
Yeah.
So I had heard that Mando season 3 was pushed back from October to December of next year.
Okay.
So everyone's thinking, well, that's both slated for December of 21. Is this a separate show or is this Mando season 3?
Mm-hmm.
At least that was the confusion.
Yeah. I had questions wrapped around that.
The episodes are called chapters. It's not too out of the question. I think they confirmed actually this morning though, that Boba Fett is a separate series. Yeah. So now because they're set to release in the same month, now the confusion is, well, is Mando actually delayed, or are they actually gonna have 2 series running at the same time? What do you think?
I have no answers. I have no answers for you. I had the same confusion. I think it was like
There's no fan theories for the content. There's fan theories for when is the release date happening.
Yeah, what the fuck's happening? Yeah, I guess it was like unforeseen confusion. Like Disney didn't add stuff up. Like, oh, it's called the Book of Boba Fett. Well, is that the continuation? They're like, oh shit, no, it's different.
We weren't clear enough. Sorry.
You're like, dude, chapters, books, and all of it. What, like, what are you trying to go at? Yeah, yeah. I'm glad it's just more content. You know,
Yeah.
Mando's doing great, so keep
I'm
rocking
glad
and
it's
rolling
separate.
with that. So
Yeah. I mean, Mando has its own story to cover now. We got the Darksaber. We know that there's more Mandalorians out there. There's plenty for them to cover, and Boba Fett can weave in and out of that. Go ahead. I was going to say, with the amount of shows that they did announce, it seems to reason that some of them are going to have to run at the same time or back to back to each other.
Oh yeah.
So it might be cool if they're alternating weeks, or if there's, Tuesday we get Mando and Friday we get Boba Fett for 6 weeks in a row, 8 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I guess going forward, we get to see. We'll have Boba Fett doing his thing. I'm assuming it's all going to wrap back in.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he's going to do his own thing for a season, and then there is going to be like a Siege of Mandalore where Boba Fett will show back up.
I hope so.
And going forward with Mando, we'll obviously tie our mental history, our memories to the first 2 seasons of Mando being Din and Grogu.
Yes.
Going forward is going to feel really different. I feel like it's going to be Din and Bo-Katan, because everybody's looking at him now because he's got the Darksaber. He's the fucking Mando elite.
Well, no one's looking at him yet, but he does have some shoes to fill, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like it's going to be a nice right turn in the story of Din Djarin, and we left off, closing that chapter of the book with Baby Grogu. I
think that's a good thing.
I do too. I I love Baby Grogu. I love the story. I love the relationship. But it was getting to a silly point where, let me set you down on the ground, do this battle, pick you back up next episode. Let me set you back down, like just on the fucking ground.
The crates. Yeah,
we're just sit here. We're gonna shoot it out. No.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
He is a beloved character, though. I am surprised that they are taking him out of the show. I think it's a good choice. I think one of my biggest complaints about popular shows in the past is that they've drugged them on for too long for no reason, because they want to make more money. So it is cool that they're actually like making the story choice to take him out of the show. I'm just curious of where he's going to pop back up, because Grogu's not gone forever. That's for sure.
That's a good question, because obviously it's a big question mark. What's happening with Luke now? And we've already kind of spouted off, would they recast someone and do a Luke thing with Baby Grogu and the new Jedi Order?
Teenager Kylo Ren
married? Could you imagine them doing a Mara Jade with Baby Grogu and Ahsoka being involved, and then shit hits the fan? It's that's why he's so mad in episode 8 and 9. Like
I think we know why he's mad.
On the Force. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm sure Grogu's going to play into that, but we know that a lot of that is based around Kylo. It hit him harder than everything because Kylo is obviously related to him.
What if they pull some shit?
See, here's your fan theories.
Force. Well, I'm just going forward with Baby Grogu.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call him Baby Yoda, and then I add Grogu at the end. Baby.
He's still kind of a baby. Yeah, Baby Grogu.
Shut up. What if they do some shit where, what would make me really feel pissed and happy all at the same time is in bringing Palpatine back, there was some Force absorption of the life of Baby Grogu. And that's what spawned this whole thing, because he's so young and there's so much midichlorians and he's strong at a weird time. And, they have his blood. What if they clone Baby Grogu and there is a Baby Grogu, an evil one that they use just for pumping iron, taking the blood out? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, I lost you as soon as you said Palpatine.
So they have his blood. They're done with baby Grogu. They don't need him anymore. Moff Gideon has a big check mark next to mission accomplished.
Unless
so they have what they need from him.
He still could have been lying about that.
No.
But correct. I don't think the Empire is going to go hunt down baby Grogu anymore. But the question is, what are they going to do with the blood?
Right.
And until Jon Favreau wants to come on the show, I don't know what we're. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I give up.
Make some green milk out of it.
Is it the green blood? I guess.
Toads have.
Are you
green
talking like baby Grogu? I'm done.
I'm done. Grumbus. Baby Grumbus.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We got a lot of time to fill. I think if they do a series of revolving around Luke's academy, there has to be a young Ben Solo, and there has to be a Snoke involved. There has to be a Snoke.
Ben Solo. I 100% think if they did this, he would be married. I don't know,
man. I think
the legacy of the Force stuff. He has 2 kids, or is it just Ben?
He just has 1, and Han and Leia have 3.
Yeah, Jason, Jaina, and
Anakin. Anakin's the one.
He's the good one. He's the one that
Chewie dies to save him.
And
then Jaina and Jason are twins. Yeah, but Kylo is Jason Solo now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Luke and Mara just have Ben Skywalker.
I don't care about Boba Fett's family, but Luke's family is another fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't think he has one, man.
I'd love it if they did.
I think he's definitely willing to let his students have some attachment, but I don't know if he's getting married and having spawn. I don't think he has any offspring. He's probably fucking terrified of his dad's blood.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what happens, Some shit goes down with cloning bloods and Baby Yoda's blood and some shit, and he's like, you know what? My blood's worth so much that I need to cut myself off from the Force. They cannot know where I'm at, or they're gonna come after me.
Well, he doesn't know
not
about
only
any
kill
of that
me
blood stuff, though.
What's that?
He doesn't know about Grogu's blood.
I know, but from a certain point of view, you add 1 and 1, you get 2. They're cloning
Sometimes
people.
you add 1 and 1, and you get 11.
Fuck. Yeah, obviously cloning's been a thing, and his blood is very important. So, like, maybe he adds numbers. I don't know.
Here's a question actually that I just thought of. Where is the scientist? Because he's on the ship helping them plan the siege.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, he doesn't say like, I hate Moff Gideon. I just cared about Baby Yoda and the science portion of this, and I'm going to help you. He doesn't say anything. He's just like, oh, go attack this little section of the ship. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But I think he's on the ship when they land, and then they obviously get out and do the siege mission. Does he go anywhere? I don't remember that.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, he's still just sitting on the ship, chilling. I had the same question about Moff Gideon when Luke showed up. All the Mandos were standing up. There was no Moff Gideon.
He was on the ground.
I didn't see him.
He was cowering. He was shitting his pants. Did you see his face when he saw the X-Wing pop up?
Everybody's
He's terrified. He knows.
Everybody's got a full diaper, whether it was from the Dark Troopers or Luke showing up.
He's seen Sith in action. He is scared of what a lightsaber can do.
How long has Moff Gideon been around?
Long enough to be a Moff. You don't just start Moff. It's not an entry-level position.
Well, you might have been hired in.
Depends on how good your resume was.
Yeah, I mean, you say he's seen Sith in action. I doubt he has.
I'm just assuming if he is a Moff, he has met Vader and Palpatine, or one or the other.
Well, yeah, I mean, from a certain point of view, why is Baby Yoda's blood so high on the priority list? Well, it's to bring Sidious back. It's the end game. I don't know how much he knows of the contingency.
He's got to know. You just disappeared. Is he your cat again?
He's a savage.
Edward, get out of here. Yeah, I don't know. It goes to here's all your fan theories that you were talking about. You said there weren't any. It just took you a second to unlock them.
Yeah, I can talk.
You just don't like Boba Fett's family for some reason. You're racist against clones.
Yep.
Which I take offense to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my vote. They're gonna pull the bloodline storyline. Boba Fett's gonna try to make a kid or find one. Actually, that would be good. That could work. Because Jaster Muriel kind of adopted Jango Fett and made him into a foundling. It wasn't his dad. So I don't know if Jango Fett was born on Mandalore or he was kind of adopted into the whole tribe, kind of like Din was. So that could be where he just finds some worthy 7-year-old and changes him to be a killer.
Yeah. What is happening in the chat here?
I don't know. I see some interesting suspects here in the chat.
I don't know.
Easily solved. Block. So yeah, that's my guess. I don't know what's happening. I just want to know where the scientist disappeared to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually, that was the other actor that I really liked. He was very believable as a scientist.
He was great.
For how small of a role it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, I'm glad he showed back up. I liked him in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Boba Fett, Mando Chapter 16. Yeah, that's the main stuff. I know we covered a lot, so we can kind of end it there. I had a few lingering questions, but we can talk about them on a different episode. They require more time to dissect. So the next big thing we have is High Republic, which comes out next month. High Republic.
Yeah, I have heard good things. Some people have got some like pre-orders and
Early copies.
Yeah, so ranting and raving about it already. So it's good. Some of the actual good Star Wars content people's got some stuff. So
brand new, fresh storylines. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Cool. All right, everybody. The Mandalorian season 2 is finished.
Complete. We are getting through fanboy commentary of those. All of them. But so we're slowly drudging through.
By the time season 3 comes out, it will all be done. We'll say that.
Yeah, by the time. Give us 9 months. Yeah, should be good. That's all we got today. Unless you want to talk about gaming, doing some small gamings.
I don't want to talk about gaming, but I would like to do gaming. Let's hang this baby up and go do some gaming.
Complete. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Cheers.
Fuckers.
Later, dudes.